WWE has just announced an event in Philadelphia for the week before AEW kicks off its residency in Philadelphia's 2300 Arena, which is just 5 miles away from the WWE show. So on May 2nd, AEW announced that it's going to run a series of shows in the former ECW Arena from August 27th to September 11th. The following month, WWE announced that the August 18th episode of Raw will be at Philadelphia's Wells Fargo Center. And then just on Monday, they announced a special edition of NXT will take place at the Met in Philadelphia on August 19th. So this comes on top of what's already happening this weekend, where we've got AEW presenting All In from Globe Life Field in Texas. But after AEW announced that, their biggest show of the year, WWE announced a Saturday night's main event for the same night. AEW then announced that their pay-per-view would take place in the afternoon, and WWE responded by announcing the Great American Bash for the afternoon of the All In pay-per-view. So they've got their NXT show going head-to-head with AEW's biggest show of the year, and then on top of that, WWE will present Evolution 2 the night after on July 13th. So everyone's going to have their own opinion, and WWE is never going to publicly admit this, but they're clearly counter-programming AEW. AEW has a big show coming up. WWE will put a show nearby the week before to hurt ticket sales for AEW's show. Now, this is an old school tactic. Wrestling promotions have used it long before many of us were born. But why did they do this? Why does WWE do this? Why did they flood the market with more wrestling than anyone can watch on a weekend when AEW is presenting a pay-per-view? Why run shows in the same cities right before AEW runs a show in that city? Well, even if WWE claims that AEW isn't competition for them in terms of ratings or media rights, and I actually do think that AEW is competition for WWE in that regards, but even if WWE doesn't feel that they are, AEW is definitely competition for WWE when it comes to signing talent. If AEW didn't exist, wrestlers across the industry would have a lot less leverage in contract negotiations. WWE would have a much better shot of signing names like Will Ospreay or Kazuchika Okada, and they could probably pay them a lot less too. So we don't know exactly how much WWE pays its roster because they keep those numbers private, but we do know a little bit about AEW. We know that in 2023, AEW paid its roster around $60 million. And we know this because that figure came out in documents related to the lawsuit that Kevin Kelly filed against AEW. So AEW paid its talent $60 million in 2023. Now, for context, in most major sports with unions and collective bargaining agreements, players usually get around 50% of the league's revenue. I don't know exact percentages for AEW or WWE, but likely neither company is anywhere near that. AEW's roster costs have probably gone up since 2023 because they've added Okada, Ospreay, signed a new deal for Swerve Strickland. But in 2025, AEW is set to get $185 million just in media rights fees. That's not counting pay-per-views, that's not counting merchandise, etc., etc. So AEW would have to increase its salaries for its wrestlers considerably to hit that 50% mark. So anytime you hear AEW overpaying for wrestlers, well, both WWE and AEW are underpaying their wrestlers compared to major team sports. But without AEW around, WWE could pay its talent even less. So that's why WWE does whatever it can to hurt AEW. It's not good for wrestling, it's not good for wrestling fans, but it's good for WWE, so they do it. So let me know what you think about WWE counter-programming AEW. Do you think it's a smart business move, or do you think it's just kind of petty old-school wrestling stuff? Drop your thoughts in the comments section below. Thanks again.